Hello, everyone. So today I'd like to talk about 10
Five.
surprising things I've discovered since coming to Japan. Number one being the cost of living. So I'm going to break it down into three subcategories. First being housing, second being transportation, and third being food. So first, housing. In general, it's pretty cheap. So for a one bedroom apartment, in terms of Canadian dollars, you could pay anywhere from the bottom tier being about $350 to $550. So in general, that's not expensive. And especially where I'm coming from, which is the west side of Canada, a one bedroom apartment is going to cost you four times that amount. So that was very shocking upon entering Japan. I'll throw some numbers up on the screen so you can take a look. And second, transportation. I took the bus about maybe 12 times total, and the train, quite a lot. I've taken the train quite a few times. So I can say right now that it's probably going to be the most expensive component of your daily life, which is surprising to most. And I was very surprised upon hearing it, and then of course firsthand experience with it. So in Matsuyama, you are going to get a card, which I'll put up right on the screen. It's called an IC card. In Japan, it's called e-card. So this card you can use on buses, subways, and trams. And sometimes you can use it at certain convenience stores, for which will give you bonus points and special events, special offers on said card. When you take the bus, you tap your card and it starts to measure your distance until you get off. So it registers each person's card upon entering, so tap, and then when you get off and you're stopped, you're gonna pay for distance. There's not like a one unit price. It's not like you have to pay $1.50 or $2.50, $2.65, whatever the case may be. You are gonna be paying on distance, which is something I was a little bit shocked by because you can pay from, $3, 300 yen, it's a little under $3 Canadian, all the way up to $10, so about 1,000 yen or less, give or take Canadian dollars for that. All right, three. I would like to talk about food next. Food, honestly, is the cheapest thing in your daily expenses, your daily life. It's crazy. I was absolutely shocked. You could get breakfast, lunch, and dinner for all under $20 Canadian. In fact, I'd say closer, a little over $10, about $13. So that is great news for everyone. And if you go to like a grocery store, so in Matsuyama, where I'm staying now, I tend to go to a supermarket called Marunaka. There's Eon, which is like a chain supermarket. And then there's many local supermarkets such as Super Value, and many others. So it tends to be a little bit more expensive at said supermarkets, but it's still not that bad. If I do go grocery shopping, which to be honest, I usually don't because I'm just quite busy throughout the day. I just tend to go to the convenience store because they have everything. I can find absolutely everything I need there. All right. Number two, road safety. Now, coming from western part of Canada, especially in British Columbia, which is where I'm from, people ride bikes. That's just a way of life. Everyone has a bicycle. Everyone rides a bicycle. Children, teenagers, university students, seniors, everyone is on a bike. Now, the same thing can be said about Japan, but I've encountered some issues upon riding my bicycle in Japan. Number one, people seem to have a different perception of what is or what road safety is. I've had multiple encounters and multiple close calls with other cyclists. I've had cyclists who were literally reading books and riding at the same time, not looking up And I'm not going to specify which age group. I'm going to leave that for the imagination because I'm not going to be singling anyone out. And also with cars, I've had so many close calls with people coming out of driveways, coming out of parking lots. So I'm riding along, and they just zoom out. It's like there's no stop signs when coming out of parking lots, hidden driveways, side streets. So no one takes much precaution. They just they'll look one way, and if you happen to be coming down that way, then they'll stop. But let's just say I'm riding my bicycle, someone's exiting out of the parking lot, and they look to their right. Well, they're not going to see me, and then sometimes they'll start to go, and it's pretty much cars above cyclists, which of course I'm not used to. In Canada, it's the other way around. Cyclists are the king of the road. So this is number 3 in my top 5 surprising things that I've discovered since coming to Japan. So number 3 being movie theaters and DVD rentals. Now, movie theaters in Canada tend to be quite expensive, at least in my opinion. So our, I guess, chain of movie theaters, the number 1 being Silver City or Cineplex, that can cost you with concession, so with like popcorn, drink, treats, etc., something like that. You could pay anywhere from $18 to $20, give or take, around that price. But in Japan, I was even more shocked because you could pay anywhere just up to the movie alone in Japan. You could be paying the price of concession and entrance to the movie in Canada, which is quite ridiculous and surprising. You could be paying up to 1,800 yen, which rounds out to about $22 or so, and that's without concession, so without buying popcorn, without buying a drink. But in Canada, we have cheap movies on Tuesdays. Specifically at Cineplex, they offer like deals and combos. So one movie would cost you $6.75, regardless of your age. And you could also get a popcorn and drink along with that for an extra like $4 or $5. So still very cheap, much lower than the cost of one movie in Japan. But on the other end of the spectrum in Japan, they have something called Girls' Day, which is, I guess as the title implies, it's a discount for females. So they could pay 1,000 yen, which is about $9. I'm going to put it on the screen anyways because the prices I say today might be wrong because the dollar is always changing. So I'll have it on the screen for more accurate information. So that was very shocking to me because I feel like movies is something, especially in Canada, the movie theater culture is quite big. I see tons of people still go to the movie theaters, especially for the new releases. Feels strange spouting that set of words, DVD rentals, because in North America, can't speak for much of the United States, but in Canada, you will most likely not find any DVD rental store, maybe a local one, but it's very tiny. It's become what's more accessible, what's easier for me. Is it easier for me to drive to the store, or can I just sit on the couch and click a button, right? That's another topic though. So in Japan, they have many DVD and comic book rental stores. They're usually conjoined together. You wouldn't just find specifically a DVD rental store or specifically just a comic book or manga rental store. There are places in Matsuyama such as Tsutaya, there's Gio, there's Haruya, just to name a few. To rent a DVD for 1 to 2 nights, it's going to cost you about 400 yen. So about $4, $3, $4 under over. Like I said, prices will be on the screen. And TV and movie consumption is usually through Netflix. In my experience and in friends, family, most people do not rent DVDs anymore. They are almost relics of the past. Like there used to be Blockbusters, Rogers Video, Crazy Mice, just to name a few specifically to Canada and where I am in Victoria. All right, next I'd like to talk about accessibility to sports and fitness facilities. Now in Matsuyama, there are many local gyms. I will put some photos up on the screen of a few that I've seen and encountered. And of course, there are your chain gyms. One of probably the biggest one that spans across the globe is Anytime Fitness, which is a 24-hour gym. And they are quite expensive in Japan. Now, I never personally went to Anytime Fitness in Canada, but it costs around $90 Canadian to go to the gym here. Anytime Fitness, 7,500 yen, anywhere to 8,000 yen. So it's quite expensive to go to the gym. But if you need to get your fitness fix, you need to go to the gym, you want to lift some weights, you want to do some cardio, there is alternatives, such as recreational centers or rec centers. In Japanese, they're commonly referred to as community centers. I actually go to the community center because I can swim and I can go to the gym at the same time. So I'd like to do both, either swim before or swim after. So it's just kind of nice to chill out and relax. And you are paying about $3.61, 300 yen, which is a fraction of the price. So it makes sense to go there considering the facilities they offer. Another thing I'd like to mention with sports facilities on that topic is something that really pertains to me specifically is my passion and love for playing basketball. In Canada, especially in Victoria, you can find many parks outside that have at least one basketball hoop. So if you don't want to play inside, if you don't want to go to a gymnasium, there are many options for you. But in Japan, I have seen none. And I was a little bit surprised and a little bit let down because I really had an urge to play basketball. I just wanted to see what it was like. I guess the play style, how that differed from Canadians to Japanese citizens. So, I haven't really been able to play much, but there are at the community centers, they do have gymnasiums, but it's usually booked with other sports and sports teams, such as badminton or table tennis, almost daily. When I go to the gym, I walk by the gymnasium, it's never empty. So I've played once at the gymnasium. Just by chance, there was a few other people playing basketball in there, so I just joined. But since then, nothing. And I have not seen any on my travels to Matsuyama. I've actually searched, found nothing. So if anyone from Matsuyama knows of any outdoor basketball court or any other gymnasium that offers like drop-in basketball, then please leave a comment, let me know, because I would love to go. Number 5, politeness is very synonymous with Canadians for the most part. Canadians have a constant urge to say sorry or to apologize to someone, regardless of what it is. You're standing too close to someone in line. Oh, I'm sorry. Or maybe you're talking too fast, or you're talking too loud, or you cut someone off while they're speaking. It's something that is just ingrained in the culture to apologize and kind of put other people first. I mean, that's not how everyone works, but that's just personally how I operate. I tend to let the person in front of me finish, the person next to me go first. And speaking of that, there's a bit of a transference here, a language transference, if you will. I have been in countless situations where there's a person next to me, so there's 2 lines. I'm over here, the person's over here, and one of us can go next. And I look over and just do gestures. You can go first, after you. But they do the same thing back. No, you. So it's a bit of a standstill, and we're kind of just standing there awkwardly, and there's other people behind us kind of just like, what's going on? So I've had that situation quite a few times. It's been quite entertaining, to say the least. The phrase that is commonly said in that situation is "dozo osaki ni," which is essentially "after you" in a polite form. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below, and see you next time.